Such a dirty rattens. Watching over lucky clover is a black bizarre. And the little thing that reflects does is a. And leaves a question with an answer mark. Hey. So why this fuck is just condensed. 8.1 high gravity. Be bold, be smooth, be powerful. It must be powerful. No. Alright, what am I doing? I'm gonna have a little piece of breakfast today. A little piece of breakfast sandwich. Cause I'm watching all the light get cold. Today's little piece of breakfast is jalapeno Johnsonville. Some of the best. Oh. I just lost that little son of a bitch. It's cold. I'm just eating it cold. Cold dog. That son of a bitch. Well, rain day. Again. We got some RC Cola. Almost gone. $1.49 for that shit bitch. Some Badger State. Blended whiskey for Ronald Theriot. And I got, like I said, this Hurricane, big one, 25 malt, 8.1 high gravity malt liquor for the malt liquor diet. Watching Randolph. I'm like playing a little mitt. $5,000 years ago, when caveman first discovered malt liquor buried in a treasure vault, they didn't care what people thought. They were cavemen. They didn't have feelings. They didn't care about nothing but dinosaur eating, doing it. Yeah. And that's about it until lightning struck. One time they were drinking malt liquor around a fire. Lightning struck, and that's how they discovered fire. And it went like that. And the rest is history. And then about 1,000 years later, ago, there was another discovery. And something happened, and no one really knows why. And they got the hell out of there. Watching over lucky clover. The fun. Salvaggio. Abahashamanaha, Washamanahanda Mandayanda Manashana, Wapadanda Mandina, Oshapanonda Mijama, what I did on the Hanbayanda, what the Mandu, woman at the top, Papa and did on the passer. One Sunday don't die or die. But now I heard down the Monday, no Pandan should, dumb and the shit of Pandoy Mana. Why I name it, do what I live on the that's when cavemen they first learned stuff. It was a lot of learning happening. So much learning that they did. It was a lot of learning. And they did stuff that they would look at each other and be like, what the hell just happened to us? We learned something. The first caveman schools. I mean, lunch was free back then. They didn't have to pay money. They had no bills to pay. They were rich. Rich with nature. And this allowed for the humans to coexist with cavemen. When humans and cavemen, and cave women, I should add, first interacted, it was mostly because of, if not all because of, malt liquor that was discovered by cavemen. And cavemen said, "Here, human being, we cavemen want to give to the humans something we've learned from nature." And this is the story that has been passed on through oral traditions across time, place, things, nouns, pronouns, and people, places, and things, and adverbs. Eventually, there was that song that went, lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. And then also, conjunction, junction, what's your function? Conjunction, junction, what's your function? It was normalized into caveman society that humans would become the major players. And so if you look back at the first caveman, cavewoman voting rolls, it was a lot of support for humans. I don't think humans could have made it without the caveman and cavewoman, the cave kids. The cave kids! um, and cavemen were like, why don't you just live in a cave? It's free. You don't have to pay rent. Eat a dinosaur. It's free. You don't have to go to drive-thru. Like Freddie Flintstone. Barney Rubbles. Caveman had it going on. They knew how to live without, I mean, all they did was sat around, and once they learned fire from lightning, they were off to the races. See, cavemen first trained dinosaurs like the T-Rex and the raptors and other meat-eating dinosaurs. They trained them to catch antelope, buffalo, birds, fish. And so, but the dinosaurs would eat so much, it wasn't worth it. So the cavemen started killing the dinosaurs to eat them so that there'd be more world fauna that the dinosaurs wouldn't eat up. So they said, let's just get rid of these dinosaurs because they're big and they eat a lot of the fauna and a lot of the vegetation. And so they just chimed them down. They eradicated all the T-Rex, all the big megalodons and stuff. Caveman, they did a good job at killing all the dinos. They left a couple that they couldn't get at because they weren't the best swimmers, and that's like crocs and alligators are pretty much, and Komodo dragons, pretty much left over from prehistoric times. And then, you know, they said, we're going to start farming and grazing these wildebeests so that when they cross the river, the big crocs can grab them with their big mouths and they can just shut the fuck up and leave us alone. But now, a lot of people are getting eaten up. And cavemen predicted that. They said, if you mess with the ecosystem that we have created for humans, you will die by the crocs in the alleys. After a while, crocodile, see you later, alligator. And that's how that song came up. It's caveman produced. They produced some of the best songs that ever been written. And I think the first people on Mars are probably going to be cavemen. And Elon Musk is going to be like, try to, buy out the caveman. But cave people are going to be like, we don't need that money stuff. We exist without it. And that's why a lot of poor people today can relate to cavemen. Cavemen don't want or need money, but poor people want money but live without it. So there's sort of like a coexistence. Poor cavemen. Poor cave people. Cavemen never believed in a money economy. Caveman. Karate. Here. Karate. caveman. Yeah. And those of us who cling to the caveman rules of mentality are probably right all along. But if you ask them, they wouldn't say it. They wouldn't admit to it. So, Elon Musk wanted to be a caveman. He just couldn't be. It's impossible. You can't be something you're not, even if you want to be. You might put a word on it, or say this, or say that, or whatever, but then along came Sally. This part is where Tom Cruise is covered in dust, and then suddenly he's not. And then along came round, so walking on long talk, my long and lonely, lanky Lou. See, now he's just clean again, like nothing ever happened. Suspension of disbelief, that's what that's called. It's called suspension of disbelief. Believe it or not. A lot of movies use it because you just kind of accept it as fake. It's Crawleywood, Bollywood. Along came lonely Langy Lou. I know I've been ranting on about stuff probably no one understands, no one cares to think about, or even the lofty notion that when we look back, that's about all you can do. You don't never look back. I mean, if that's how you want to do it, then son of a bitch. And it's a son of a bitch. Along came long and languidly. If we go back just to earlier recent happenings, we can see how caveman influence has really formed its influenced things. And like look at eggs. Caveman had not killed the dinosaurs off into extinction, we wouldn't have chicken eggs today like we do now. Cartons, we wouldn't have cartons of eggs. What you'd probably have is like some type of soft shell egg. Like there's soft shell tacos and hard shell tacos. Well, and there's hard eggs. You'd have soft eggs, and you wouldn't be able to crack them because there's nothing to crack. It's too soft. So I want to just give you a big shout out, Caveman, for giving us hard eggs to crack. Fry them up. I'm going to show you something. Show you this package of pre-packaged Circus Time butter flavored Circus Time popcorn. This $2, no tax. The one thing caveman believed in modern society is taxation without representation. It's Circus Time, all right. Oh, God. The other thing I don't get is they're in a house and they bring a box of food, but they don't look in their own house for food and they just settle for whatever. It's like, open the fridge, cook a turkey. I mean, electricity's still on, the fridge is still working. What, is the food empty? Is the house empty of food? Circus Time popcorn. Who makes this? Bartlett, Tennessee. This was popped in. BFC Incorporated. It's an alright job, but I like it. But they only charge $2 for this bag. I mean, it's probably maybe 10 cents for the bag to be made. Maybe 50 cents, if that, worth of the popcorn seed. But then you got to think about, they got to pop it, they got to butter it. So maybe it costs $1 across the board to make this entire bag, and so they charge $2. So for every dollar they spend and they charge $2, they make $1. So let's say they had 100,000 of these made. They invested, say, 100,000 bags of this. So they invested $100,000, and if they sell 100,000 of these at $2 a piece, they make $100 grand. But maybe they don't sell them all. So maybe they only make 50 grand. But as long as they make their 100, they'd have to sell at least 50,000 bags out of the 100,000 to make their money back. So you can see how it works. So you invest 100 grand. In the poppin' popcorn, shipping it out. But then there's a shipping and distribution as well, so it's a tough biz. But if you can get into high scale manufacturing at a cheap rate, probably do alright. But if you take a loss, and it also has a psalm on it. 21:13. Be exalted, O Lord, in your own strength. We will sing and praise your power. So it's probably Amish. If you look up BFC Inc., Bartlett, Tennessee, online, you could probably call them and ask them some questions about the process and what it takes to do this. And so consequently, I've shared a lot with you today about stuff, but it's up to you to learn more about so I'll leave you at that. Circus time. Remember, call them up and tell them you saw Circus time, Bartlett, Tennessee, BFC. It all makes sense now. It all makes perfect sense. Pot shot.